Just because I like fucking you doesn't mean I actually like you. Rich guys and hot guys get cheated on like everybody else. There's nothing to be afraid of. She's just a woman. Discovery trumps disclosure. You lost your edge, she lost the traction. That's how it works.
Live from Philadelphia, your man, Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 572nd edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. We are brought to you by Gorilla Mind Rush, the #1 non-habit-forming energy and focus supplement on the market. Be hyper-productive and laser-focused for hours with zero crash and zero jitters. Support your productivity and the show by going to donovansharpe.com/GorillaMindRush to get your hands on a bottle or 234. Again, that is donovansharpe.com/GorillaMindRush. As always, we are streaming live to YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, VK, and OK.ru. So however you're watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharpe Reality Live a part of your daily routine. It is Thursday, March 12th of 2020. It is good to have you guys in today. Listen, before we get started, I think it's worth kind of diving into the topic du jour. Anybody who's a sports fan probably by now knows and understands that sports, the world of sports, has essentially grinded to a halt. All of the conference tournaments, all of the college basketball conference tournaments have been canceled. And it looks like they're going to, at the very least, postpone the NCAA tournament. The NBA ceased all operations. They have suspended the season indefinitely until further notice. And the reason why the NBA suspended the season is because Rudy Gobert tested positive for the coronavirus last night, and this morning his teammate Donovan Mitchell has also tested positive for the coronavirus. So I think it's safe to say that there are probably multiple NBA players who probably now have the coronavirus, because I think they say you're contagious for 10 days before you even know it. And I think that Gobert and Donovan Mitchell had come in contact with something like 50 NBA players over the last 7 or 8 days or so. So then those NBA players go back into their locker rooms. They're playing games against other people. That's how these things spread. So the world of sports has shut down. And Adam Silver suspending the NBA season seems to have caused a domino effect. So the NBA has shut down. Major League Baseball will reportedly shut the season down, cease all operations. Opening day is supposed to be, I think, 2 weeks from today. They've ceased everything. No spring training, no games. The NFL is ceasing all operations. No mini camps, no OTAs. The Philadelphia Eagles, as a matter of fact, are not sending their scouts out to pro days. I heard that here first. Obviously, I live in Philly. NASCAR is going to be doing their races without the fans. So, and of course, hockey, the NHL has also suspended their season. So, this coronavirus thing is pretty serious, obviously. And so, I did the sensible thing, and I canceled my trip to Reno. Devin and I were supposed to fly out to Reno a week from today, actually, to go to a friend's wedding. But with the coronavirus spreading like a California wildfire, it would be unwise to get on a plane and travel. Donald Trump spoke to the nation last night. I think he put a 30-day travel ban to and from Europe. So I think it would be wise for anyone who's planning to travel, if you can, postpone or cancel your trip. Postpone or cancel your trip. Young Lions Perspective in the chat says that Penn State canceled their pro day today. Absolutely. It is absolutely serious, guys. When the world of sports grinds to a halt, you know it's serious. And this has a cascading effect. It really, really does. Players, family, friends of players' families. I mean, this thing is widespread. And to be quite honest with you, more people probably have it than we probably realized. So, Stay safe out there, guys. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. Don't go to any public places unless you absolutely have to. I think they said something like social distancing or something like that. Italy is on full lockdown. The Elusive in the chat says Norway just went on lockdown. Yep. Europe is on lockdown. Yeah, the soccer leagues are all shut down. Yeah, this is getting serious, guys. This is absolutely serious. This is as close to, and men of a certain age, I'm 42 years old, so I'm old enough to have lived through the bird flu, which was, I think, the H1N1. I've lived through SARS. I've lived through a number of outbreaks. But this is easily the worst of my lifetime. I mean, sports is getting shut down, guys. And what about the Olympics? The Olympics are supposed to be starting here in a few months, if I'm not mistaken. The Olympics are in Tokyo, Japan. That is the world stage. The Olympics might be canceled, guys. The Olympics might not go off. So the coronavirus is definitely affecting the world far and wide. Yeah, the swine flu, right? Big brand. Yes, exactly. Absolutely. Yeah, excellent. Shout out to Ed Lattimore, who just became a member. Appreciate that. Ed Lattimore, heavyweight boxer, also has a degree in physics. So he is the equivalent of the unicorn. Ed Lattimore is Alpha Fucks and Beta Bucks. I have a man crush on Ed because he's the only man I am physically afraid of. So Ed is in Portugal, and according to Ed in the chat, he says he's in Portugal. They are slowly getting locked down. Yeah, Portugal is right next door to Spain. Spain right above Italy. So yeah, Europe is definitely nobody in or out, man. Nobody in or out. This is easily. I've been through a number of viruses: SARS, the bird flu, mad cow. There was a small Ebola thing back in 2014. This whole coronavirus. This is the worst virus outbreak of my lifetime. Like, this is our version. I don't want to call it the Spanish flu or the bubonic plague, but I don't know, man. Numbers wise, the way it's affecting the economy, the way it's affecting the world. And no one is immune from this thing. No economy, none of this. I mean, everything is getting affected. Everything is getting affected. Cameron Barton says this is going to be here for the next 6 to 9 months conservatively, experts suggest. Yeah, this thing is not going away anytime soon unless we can magically find patient zero. So, again, guys, stay safe out there. Stay safe out there. Again, wash your hands. Wash your hands. Try not to touch your face. If you touch your face, wash your hands before you touch your face. And who knows? Who knows what the future holds, man? We got the 21 convention coming up here next month, as well as the 22 convention. I don't know how that's going to affect all of this. So stay tuned, guys. I know just as much as you guys. We've got our TVs on, and hopefully we don't have too many casualties. Okay, let's get right to it. So a big shout out goes to Lori T for submitting today's topic. And, you know, it's interesting. I'm actually thinking about hiring Lori T as my content director, my content connoisseur, because this dude has sent me countless videos. Over the last 72 hours, Lori T has sent me videos that are just videos, articles, spot on. So Lori T obviously knows the kind of content that drives the show. And today's content, today we are going to talk about a 47-year-old woman who has fucked over 100 married men, and she claims that she is actually helping marriages. She claims that she is saving marriages. Now, before we get started, I want you guys to understand that I'm going to talk about this from both sides of the street, as Steve the Dean Williams likes to say. Yes, I'm going to break down a video and a couple of articles, and I'm definitely going to go in on this woman, Gwyneth Lee. Definitely going to go in on her, but by the same token, women have only themselves to blame for women like Gwyneth Lee. Like, we can talk all the shit we want about her being a homewrecker and she's a hoe and she's this and she's that. And listen, those accusations, the names that we're going to call her, absolutely, positively do apply. There is no doubt about it. But if women weren't so horrible, and we'll get into this a little bit later, if women were actually good wives, if women stayed in shape and actually put out for their men, women like Gwyneth Lee probably wouldn't exist. Again, this woman is 47 years old. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at the video that Lori T sent me. And again, I'm going to break this down in the customary Donovan Sharpe way. So this woman, Gwyneth Lee, made an appearance on a television show called This Morning. And there was a big-time backlash on this. And this was actually a couple of years ago. So this is a couple of years old. My guess is that this woman is probably, 49, 50 years old now. Be that as it may, let's go ahead and get this party started. Here we go.
One or both partners admit to cheating. Almost half, 45%, of British men admit to straying from their significant other at least once, and a considerable 21% of UK women say the same. So for you, how does it work? We know that this is a website founded in 2003 by Stephen Lyons. We had him on here in 2011. He sparked a massive debate, especially on Mumsnet. So how does it work for you? How do they find you? How do you find them? And then what goes on?
Yeah, that's a great question, I think, because, I mean, I'm not out there stealing my girlfriend's husbands. That's 100% not what this is about.
Listen, it's so funny how she just said, well, let's get one thing straight. It's not like I'm out here stealing my girlfriend's husbands, right? So what she means to say is that I'm not out here wrecking marriages. See, what she said is partially true. She's not out here fucking her friends' husbands and boyfriends. Of course she's not. I mean, at least we would presume that she's not. But the way she's sort of minimizing this, and you guys will see this throughout the video, she will minimize her activity. She will minimize her involvement. She will try to sugarcoat what is actually happening. Her fucking married men. Her looking for married men to fuck her. That's what this is. Right off the bat, right out of the gate, she already tries to minimize what her activities. Well, it's not like I'm out here stealing my girlfriend's, stealing my girlfriend's husbands. Yeah, no shit, because if you did, they wouldn't be your friends anymore. Just because you're not stealing your girlfriend's husbands doesn't mean you're not wrecking the marriages of other people. Nobody accused you of stealing your girlfriend's husbands. No, sweetie, you are a home wrecker. That is all there is to it, regardless of whose husband you're quote unquote stealing.
I mean, the website was set up for the purpose of married people finding a lover.
Did you see how she paused? Did you see how she paused? Hold on, let's rewind that a little bit. She says the website was set up. You know what that pause is? That pause is her mind working in the background, trying to ask herself, what's the best way I can put this? How can I characterize what I'm doing, which is fucking married men, getting fucked by married men? How can I characterize this in a way that doesn't make me look quite as bad? That's what that little pause is. Watch.
Set up for the purpose of married people.
The purpose of, instead of fucking other guys, married people finding a lover. Listen, baby, you can sugarcoat this all you want. Married people finding a lover, men stepping out on their wives. Listen, you can call it all these names. What you are is a perpetual side chick that gets passed around. That's what this woman is. She calls herself a mistress. I call her the side piece. That's what she is. She's a side piece. And the fact that she's 47 years old and a side piece, that's even worse.
Finding a lover and to have an affair. Yeah. And, or cheat, or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, did you see that? Right? Let's rewind that. So she says to find a lover, and the male host, I don't know what his name, I think his name is Phil. He says, well, listen, to cheat. They're looking for a woman to cheat with, right? He's calling it what it is. But of course, that she's taken aback by that, right? Well, if that's what you want to call it. And again, anytime, this is called the rationalization hamster, guys. This is rationalization hamster in overdrive. Women are always looking for ways to rationalize their behavior. When they can't rationalize their behavior, or in other words, when they can't come up with a good reason to sell to the masses that makes them not look bad, when they can't do that, what they do is they put on the sugarcoating language. And when somebody calls him out on it, so basically you're cheating. Well, if that's what you want to call it, sweetheart, that's what it's called, Ms. Lee. It's called cheating. It's called fucking married men. It's not married men looking for a lover. No, they're looking for an easy lay, and you were it.
People finding a lover and to have an affair. Or cheat, or whatever you want to call it.
See that?
You know, when someone does something intentional, I mean, I could be held accountable for destroying marriages. And I understand people who aren't familiar with the situation will judge it that way. But this is someone who's gone on this website because maybe they haven't had sex with their spouse.
Now it's going to start to turn a little bit of a corner, guys. And guys, listen, man, I see you all in the chat, right? She looks like Bruce Jenner. Says Sharpe assist. Bramblebush says she knows she's wrong. Brian Washington says that she deserves a spot in the Thought Hall of Fame. Okay. Will S says she's doing God's work. And you want to know something? I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to go so far as to say this woman is doing a good thing or that this woman is doing God's work. But guess what, guys? Guess what? I'll call her a hoe. I'm going to call her a side piece. But you want to know something? She's not morally reprehensible. At least not in my book. You see, guys, I talk all the time about the fact that women are amoral. Okay? Amoral. That's with an A. They're not immoral. They're not moral. They are amoral, which means without morals. As far as sex is concerned for women, at least these days, sex is a means to an end. All relationships are transactional. All relationships are transactional. Women exchange their sexual exclusivity for a man's resources. That is the basis, that is the template for the successful relationship today. Well, when my woman has sex with me, it's not transactional. Of course it's transactional. She has sex with you so that she can get access to your resources. That doesn't mean that she doesn't like having sex with you. But make no mistake, there's always an ulterior motive. Dude, when Devin lets me fuck her, that's transactional too. Does she like having sex with me? I don't know. Don't really care. Does she enjoy having sex? I don't know, but I do know this. She at least pretends to like it, and the reason why she pretends to like it, if she doesn't like it, is to keep me from fucking other chicks. That's how this works. All sex is transactional, no matter how we want to slice it. Women are keenly aware of this. Men, for the most part, are unaware that sex is transactional. They have no idea that even when a woman willingly sucks your dick, in the back of her mind, she's keeping score. Whether it's a good score or a bad score, she keeps it in the back of her mind. So when and if her man cheats on her, she says, well, wait a minute. I fucked him 3 times a day this whole week. Why in the hell is he cheating? Then they got a problem. But when a man cheats and they kind of take that stock, they take that score, they don't really have anybody to blame but themselves. And we're about to find out exactly why. We're about to take a turn, guys. We're about to take a turn here. Here we go.
4, 5, or 10 years, or they have a spouse who's handicapped. There are people I've met before on the website that have an arrangement or an agreement with their spouse.
An arrangement or an agreement with their spouse. Gentlemen, she's telling the truth. The men that she's talking about that have an agreement with their spouse, listen to the rest of this.
Met men and said, listen, my wife knows I do this. I have a budget for it.
I have a budget for it. I have a budget for a side chick. What does that mean he has, guys? It means he has money. We can talk all we want about cheating husbands and this and that and the third, but guess what? Women know sex is transactional. For this reason, women who are married to or in relationships with super high value men, they understand that sex, just because a man sticks his dick in another chick, doesn't mean he loves the other chick. He might not even like her. Women understand. Women, again, I can't say this enough, and this is where men get into trouble. What we have to understand is that the more sex a woman has, the less emotionally attached she becomes. The first couple of partners a woman has, she's emotionally invested, especially the guy she loses her virginity to. That guy has her whole heart, right? He has 100% of her emotional investment. The second guy has 50% of the emotional investment. The third guy has 33% of the emotional investment. The fourth guy, 25. The fifth guy, 20. The sixth guy, 16.5. I don't know what 1 divided by 7 is, but I'm sure somebody in there. By the time she gets to guy number 752, guy number 752 has 1/750 seconds of her heart, which means there is 0 emotional attachment there. Sex is never transactional for women who haven't fucked a bunch of guys. If a woman is virginal, the reason why she's having sex, that's not transactional. She's doing it because she loves the guy. She's doing it for feeling, for emotion. But the more men a woman has sex with, the more transactional that sex becomes. We say this all the time. The more men women have sex with, the less they're able to pair bond with said man. The reason for this is that every man who has had sex with her gets a piece of her heart, whether she knows it, likes it, or not. Now, like I said earlier, guy number 11 gets a bigger slice than maybe guy number 95, right? Guy number 14 gets a bigger piece than even guy number 19. That's just the way this goes. But the higher a woman's notch count is, the more transactional sex becomes for her. And the reason why sex becomes more transactional is because she's becoming further and further emotionally detached from sex. That's why this 47-year-old can sit up here with a straight face and talk about the fact that, hey, it's just sex. And to her, it really is just sex. Women understand that sex is transactional. Men do not. This is why we need to wake up, guys. This is why we need to wake up.
She's gone off sex, or she's never liked sex. And that's possible. You could be married to someone wonderful, have kids with them, and have a great life. You just don't like sex. Why didn't you...
See this? See this? You can you can be in a relationship with someone and everything can be wonderful and just not have sex. Guys, we talk about this all the time. There's a Reddit, I think there's a Reddit page called Dead Bedroom. There are married couples there. As a matter of fact, I don't know what the percentages are. I couldn't really tell you one way or the other. But I would go as far as to say that most marriages are probably sexless marriages. Most men are not fucking their wives. I say this all the time, guys. Girlfriends are better than wives. Period. One of the main reasons why girlfriends are better than wives is that girlfriends are motivated to fuck their boyfriends more than their wives are motivated to fuck their husbands. As soon as you put a baby in a wife, as soon as you marry her, put a baby in her, she is no longer motivated to make you happy. Why? Because she's cut you off at the balls. If you decide to leave her, she's going to take half your shit, your kids, your half of your present and future earnings. And oh, by the way, if you're married to her for more than 10 years, she's going to get alimony depending upon which state you're in. That's how this works, guys.
With them and have a great life. You just don't like...
Listen.
Sex. Why didn't you just sleep with single men?
Why didn't you just sleep with single men? Now what's going to happen here in the video is the female host. I don't know what her name is. The blonde female host. She clearly doesn't like this woman. Nor should she. This woman is obviously a homewrecker of sorts. So this woman in the blonde is going to be she's going to be very passive aggressive. Well, why don't you sleep with married men? Or why don't you sleep with single men? Listen to her answer.
I have to be honest, after having been on this married...
Okay, so she skirted the question here, guys. She says, why don't you sleep with single men? I'm going to answer this question for her because she clearly is not going to. Now, let me go back here. So the blonde co-host asks her, why don't you sleep with single men? Gentlemen, she doesn't really want to know the answer, right? I talk about this all the time. A lot of times, passive-aggressive people, mainly women, they don't like to make statements. What she really wanted to say to this woman is, you're a slut. You should be fucking single men instead of married men. But she didn't want to do that. She doesn't want to be straight up. She asked her, why not sleep with single men? She doesn't give a damn what the answer is. What she's doing is she's making a statement by asking a question. This is a very passive-aggressive question. Why don't you sleep with single men? She doesn't give a damn about the answer. She just wants to make this woman uncomfortable. Because, of course, she's a wife. Watch this pause.
I have to be honest, after having been on this married dating site and going on dates with married men, I find it a lot easier. There's a lot more respect. They treat me better. I live an active life.
That was her reason. You want to know why she sleeps with married men and doesn't sleep with single men, gentlemen? You want to know why, guys? Pre-selection, guys. Every woman has this in their hard drive. If somebody they know is single, if they find out a man is single, they don't think, ooh, he's single, I'm going to go after him. The first thing that comes into their mind is, why is he single? Does he have bad breath? Does he have a 2-inch dick? Does he have what they characterize as red flags? Does he have kids? He looks like a decent guy. Why is he single? Women don't want men that other women don't want. That's the bottom line. Why don't you sleep with single men? Well, blonde, clearly jealous co-host, because single men don't turn me on. Well, why don't single men turn you on? Because single men aren't pre-selected. That's why. That's why she likes to fuck with married men, guys, because he is pre-selected. There are some men out here who actually wear a wedding ring. Dude, there are guys in the PUA, the pickup community, who literally wear a wedding ring even though they're not married. You want to know why you want to know why they have a wedding ring? Pre-selection. You can't look at a guy and tell if he's got a girlfriend or not. You have no idea. Yeah, you have absolutely no idea. But that wedding ring, oh yeah. That wedding ring not only tells the other woman, a woman loved him enough to actually commit to him. He's got kids. So he is so attractive that she let him have unprotected sex with her enough times to put 2, 3, 5 babies in her. That's how this works. That is how this works. So the short answer to her question, why don't you sleep with single men, is because single men are pre-selected.
I think in the next 20 days, I'm in 8 cities on 3 continents. And
did they pay for all of this?
No, it's my business. As a businesswoman, this is what I'm doing. And so, you know, Sunday's a work day for me.
Business, is this a separate business
This isn't a business at all. This is just my private life.
Right, okay, so there is no financial arrangement there.
I mean, if I'm going to fly somewhere to meet someone and I'm not already traveling there, of course I would expect them to pay for my flight, but it's nothing more than that.
Hold on. Just look at the look on the blonde woman's face. This girl cracks me up. She just can't believe it.
Expect them to pay for my flight, but it's nothing more than that.
And so some of these men will go to extraordinary lengths to keep their meetings with you secret. Tell me about the New York man.
As they should. Oh gosh. Well, you know, any of the men.
See, now she's starting to get nervous, right? Now she's starting to get nervous because she feels the judgmental gaze now, not only coming from the woman, but coming from the man. And listen, let's not make any mistake here. The man thinks, the man is absolutely a beta bitch boy. All he's there to do is chirp, chirp, chirp. I agree with the women. Da 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 da. That's all he's there for. So now he's going to attack this woman, this harlot, to try to impress the blonde, who is afraid that the harlot is going to somehow steal her husband. It's all one big shit show, but that's how this goes.
Relationships with, I make it very clear when I first start dating them that if you're considering separation or you're going to divorce your wife, I'm not going to start an affair with you.
Oh, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Let's listen to that again. Let's listen again to what she says, because I don't buy this for a second. This is so funny.
I make it very clear when I first start dating them that if you're considering separation or you're going to divorce your wife, I'm not going to start an affair with you.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. She doesn't know and she doesn't care. She knows that men lie to her about their marital status all the time. Oh yeah, I'm about to separate from my wife. Yeah, it's okay. So riddle me this, Batman. So you don't want to start an affair, and this goes back to the whole pre-selection thing again, right? This goes back to that. So she doesn't want to fuck with guys who are in the middle of a separation. And the reason that she'll give here is bullshit. I'm going to play that in a second. But as long as he wants to stay, so she only messes with married men who intend on staying married. She doesn't want to mess with guys who are on their way out the door or who want to divorce their wives. Oh, no. No, she wants the guys who are firmly entrenched. There's that pre-selection thing again, guys. Sharpe Assist says in the chat, she only fucks happily married men. Yeah, exactly.
Simply because I don't want to be held accountable for that, and I don't want to deal with the backlash of that.
So she doesn't want to mess with guys who are going to divorce their wives or give her the impression that they're going to divorce their wives because she doesn't want to be held responsible for it. Newsflash, ho, you are going to be held responsible regardless of whether or not he divorces or leaves his wife. What this woman has to understand, and I'm sure she probably knows this. As a matter of fact, she does know. You want to know why? Because her now deceased husband cheated on her. But you want to know what she did? She stayed with him. You see, that's why she has this strategy. She knows, and this is Red Pill 101, she knows that women stay with their cheating husbands at a far higher rate than men stay with their cheating wives. Cheating hurts women's bottom line. Okay, it hurts their feelings. Yes, there are some feelings of pain, but deep down inside, when a woman catches her man cheating, she's hurt and all that stuff, but you want to know something? That verifies his attractiveness. If ever there was a doubt as to whether or not a man was still attractive, a man cheating on a woman, that's an emphatic yes, he is still attractive. Again, this goes back to pre-selection. If a girl is dating who she thinks is the hottest guy ever, but everywhere she goes, nobody really looks at him, her friends don't try to flirt with him, nobody talks about how handsome he is, at some point she says, you know what? I think he's hot, I think he's a 10, but my friends aren't flirting with him and girls don't really seem to look at him when we're out. I wonder if he's not attractive. Girls can't trust their own judgment, guys. Girls know that their own judgment is flawed, even, as it happens, in the way of sexual attraction. So they go to the hive mind. Women are hive-minded creatures. They only believe what the hive believes. If the hive says XYZ person is hot, then guess what? He's hot. If the hive says XYZ person is not really on our radar, she says, the hive doesn't say he's hot. I don't really know that he's hot. This all goes around to pre-selection. This is 100% bona fide Red Pill 101. And this is why she only fucks with men who are in happy marriages, men who do not plan to leave their wives. Because she knows that the wives of cheating husbands are staying with him because he is high value, guys. This is what happens. Listen, if a low-value male cheats on his woman, she's out the fucking door. She doesn't give a fuck about him. She was looking for a reason anyway. She was already fucking Dave, the unemployed garage band guitar player who may or may not live in a storage unit. She's already been fucking him, right? The reason she's fucking him is because he's low value. But be a high-value guy, be a guy that can get pussy, be a guy that's maybe a celebrity, professional athlete. Dude, that's what the arrangement she was talking about earlier was.
Ever had that happen?
I have, and I
Now she's going to talk about the responsibility part. Have you ever had it happen to you where the wife found out and there were consequences? Take a listen.
did immediately. I've had it happen more than once.
So she says she's been caught a number of times, or the husband gets caught cheating and she ended it immediately. Whether or not that's true, I don't really think so, but let me rewind it so you guys can hear the whole interaction, because this is good. Check this out.
Of that.
Have you ever had that happen?
I have, and I ended it immediately. I've had it happen more than once.
Do you feel guilty, though, with that? I mean, when a marriage ends.
I was honest. No, I was honest.
See, this is it. The blonde is starting to go in. Do you feel guilty about that? Right? She doesn't give a shit about what her answer is. No. This blonde, you guys are going to see this. This blonde doesn't really ask any questions. All she's doing is making statements. She's making statements in the form of a question. She wants to say, you're a slut. You should be ashamed of yourself. So she's going to try to put her on a spot by saying, hey, do you feel guilty? If she says yes, then she says, okay, well, if you feel guilty, why do you do this? If she says no, well, then she looks like a slut. That question that blonde asked, that is a loaded question, gentlemen. And again, I don't blame the blonde co-host for not liking this woman. Listen, women already hate each other enough as it is. We already know that, right? We already know that. But now you have a cheating woman. You have a perpetual side chick sitting right in front of you discussing fucking married guys on national TV. Oh, no. The blonde is not going to be here for that.
From the beginning, this is strictly an affair. I'm not looking for anything more than an affair. And, if you are going to leave your wife...
What about if they have children? I mean, I know we talk about the wife.
Oh, here we go. Now the blonde is starting to... She wants to preach. She wants to look down her nose. She wants to now bring sex into the moral cathedral. What about the children? Just listen.
That maybe she doesn't want to have sex, but that is still the father, mother. You're...
Oh, whoa. Wait a minute. Say what? Let's listen to this again.
But if they have children? I mean, I know we talk about the wife and that maybe she doesn't want to have sex, but
Oh, but that's just it, Miss Blondie. She says, okay, what about the children? Right? There are children involved. Okay, so there's the wife and she doesn't want to have sex, but
Still the father, mother, that potentially could destroy a family unit.
yeah, it could destroy a family unit. But guess what, Blondie? If the wife doesn't want to have sex, what is the husband supposed to do? Guys, this is the crux. This is the crux of this situation. Don't mistake me. I'm not glorifying this. I'm not glorifying Gwyneth Lee. I'm not going to sit here and say that she's doing God's work like Will has said, which was fucking hilarious. I'm not going to go that far. But I'm not going to sit here and call this woman the devil. I'm not going to call this woman the devil for fucking married men. You want to know why? Because if married men were getting sex from their wives like they wanted to, they wouldn't have to fuck women like this. A couple days ago, I talked about the hashtag sex strike. You guys remember that? Well, I wanted a new kitchen, so I took sex away from my husband for a month, and he caved in. My husband wasn't spending as much time with me as he should, even though he works 60 hours a week in the city to put food on my table, to serve my ungrateful ass and my ungrateful ass kid, but I still want him to spend time with me. I took sex away from my husband for a week because he left his oily overalls on the ground, even though he turns a wrench for a living. Working 40, 50, 60 hours a week to put food on our table. Oh, no. He still has to do his share. So we've got the hashtag sex strike, right? So we got the sex strike. We got the dead bedroom. We got wives getting fat, getting a bitchy attitude. And oh, by the way, now there's marital rape. What they're trying to tell people now is that if a wife does not give enthusiastic consent, the husband is now guilty of raping his wife. Wait a minute, Claire, you had sex with your husband and you weren't ecstatic about it? No, I just wanted to get it over with. Claire, I hate to break it to you, but you've been raped. Then wives freak out that their husbands or boyfriends look at porn. Then you freak out that he's going to the strip club. So let me get this straight. You want to withhold sex from him, even though he works 60 hours a week. You want to withhold sex with him because he doesn't help with the laundry. He's not spending enough time with you. You want a kitchen. You're withholding sex for all of these reasons. You're getting fat. You're getting bitchy. This woman just says, well, the mother doesn't like sex. You don't like sex. You don't want him to watch porn. You don't want him to go to the strip club. What, dude, what are men supposed to do? No. This is woman's fault. This is a woman's fault. Wives, ladies, if you are listening, if you are watching, you need to fuck your boyfriends and husbands. You don't get to say, I don't like sex, and then bitch and moan on the back end that your husband cheated on you. Oh, no. Well, Donovan, if he's not getting sex from his wife, why would he cheat? Why not just divorce her? That's a very good question. Why doesn't he divorce her? Oh, I don't know, because if he divorces her, she's going to get the kids, the car, the house, the dog, half of his present, future, and probably retroactively past earnings. That's why. This is why men cheat. Because if they were ever to seek a divorce, his wife is going to divorce rape him. Doesn't want him watching porn, doesn't want him going to the strip club, doesn't want him doing any of that stuff. She's not giving him the pussy. So what do you expect him to do? Just sit there and explode? All right, well, I'll just give it up to him just so he shuts the fuck up. Oh my God, you were raped because you did not enthusiastically consent. That's where we are, guys. This is the situation. The sexual climate here in the West has created women like Gwyneth Lee. We can sit here and throw shade and blame Gwyneth Lee all we want to. Women, you have yourselves to blame for this. And now this bitch, this blondie here, well, what about the children? Children got nothing to do with the sex life, chick. Now she's trying to bring the moral cathedral into something amoral. Sex, gentlemen, is neither moral or immoral. It just is. People want to do it. But now this woman is trying to say, well, the reason why you shouldn't have sex with married men is because you're going to break up a family. What about the kids? Bitch, get out of here with that. This is the same kind of bitch. This blondie here is the same kind of woman who believes in hashtag sex strike. But then she wants to throw shade on women like this, right? Like I can promise you, she probably endorses, well, listen, if you're not getting what you want, you need to close up your legs, girl. You need to be a feminist, girl. You need to take control of your man, girl, blah, 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 and then bitch and moan when her husband cheats. You can't have it both ways.
regardless of whatever's happening in the parents' bedrooms.
You see? Regardless of whatever's happening in the parents' bedroom. You see? Fuck the needs of the man. Nope. Listen, never mind that the wife isn't giving him any pussy. Nope. He shouldn't be cheating.
It's a family, isn't it? I mean, there's more to it. There's more to a marriage than just that.
There's more to marriage than just that. Absolutely right, Blondie. But guess what? Sex is uber important to men. If a man's not getting sex from his wife or his girlfriend, guess what? He's going to get sex from somewhere else.
I mean, marriage is.
But that must not feel right then. Inside, there must be a little bit of you that goes, maybe I shouldn't do this because there are children there. There is a potential for this to go horribly wrong.
Do you see what she's trying to do? She's trying to make this woman say, I'm a reprehensible slut because there are children involved. Maybe I shouldn't do this because they have children. You fucking dude, I can't stand these morally disingenuous bitches. I can't stand women like this. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Well, I agree with what you're saying. However, someone who makes a concerted effort to go onto a dating website like IE is basically going on there for the purpose of having an affair. If it's going to be me or someone else.
Oop. Checkmate, Blondie. Checkmate. What she just said is that, listen, if a man's not getting sex at home and he decides to cheat, he's going to cheat. And if he's not cheating with me, he's going to cheat with someone else. And the blonde, dude, look at the look on this blonde's face. The reason why she hates this woman is because she knows it's true. I wonder what her reaction will be the next time her husband tries to have sex with her and she doesn't feel like it. I wonder if this will influence her to do the right thing.
It's their choice. They need to have their wits about them. And anyone who gets involved with me is logically thinking. We go for a nice lunch, we have a proper talk, and if we want to start an affair, we say, listen, this is how it's going to be. And, you know, their wife and their kids is their business. My family is my business. And, you know.
So she basically just said, I don't give a damn about his wife and kids. I'm just there for the sex. Good for her. Good for her. Again, listen, you can't blame a man for cheating if he's not getting sex at home. You just can't do it. For this woman to sit here and say, well, there's children involved, and I understand that the wife doesn't want to have sex. She doesn't like sex. No, but that's just it. Because if the wife actually wanted to have sex, then women like Gwyneth Lee would not exist.
Anybody who's in a relationship decides what they share and what they don't share with the person they're involved with.
Well, we were talking about the New York thing. This is that you went to New York. A guy was there with his wife.
See, now they're going to try to pinpoint an isolated incident as to try to shame her out of doing what she's doing. Okay, that's fine, right? So the way she just explained it there, the two co-hosts, they're like, okay, shit, she's making a lot of sense. If they're going to cheat, they're going to cheat, whether it's with her or somebody else. It is their choice. She's not putting their guns to their head. She's not... Listen, there's nothing wrong with what this woman is doing. It's not like she's making men cheat with her. No, these men are seeking her out. They're doing this of their own free will and volition. All she's doing is offering the service. You can't blame the stripper for fucking your husband, sweetie. No, she was there doing her job. You got to blame your husband. But now they understand, okay, all right, it's their choice to cheat, but let's talk about the one time when the wife found out. Here we go.
He said he was going out on fishing trips. You were 10 miles down the road in another hotel, and he's coming down to see you, you know, sort of 3 times whilst he was there. And so this is all clandestine.
You see? He's like, well, this is all clandestine. This is all done in secret. My man, that's not her fault. That's not on her. If you want to yell at somebody for sneaking around and having an affair with someone, dude, what does him lying to his wife have anything to do with her? Like, that has nothing to do with her. On her end, she's like, listen, get to the hotel, whatever you have to tell your wife, I don't want to know, blah, 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 blah. Yet here this guy is saying, well, listen, this man lied to his wife. She thought he was going on a fishing trip and ended up coming down to shag you in Motel 6. What do you have to say about that? That's got nothing to do with her, my man. That's got nothing to do with her. Just like she said earlier, listen, him, his wife, and his family, that's his business. My job is to show up, open my legs, and get paid. That's it. Yet here he is trying to blame her for the excuse that the man gave. She didn't hatch this plan. This is all on the husband.
He was hiding it from her. There was nothing open about that. He was actually hiding that affair.
Yeah, and that, again, good sir, is not her fault. She didn't say, hide this from your wife. That's not her responsibility. That's his responsibility. What's happening here, guys, is that these two are starting to figure out, you know what? This is really not her fault. This is really not her fault. She's not putting a gun to anybody's head. All she's doing is putting out the beacon. Hey, if you're a married man and you're looking to have an affair, holler at your girl, right? Like that. Listen, that's what she's doing. Holler at your girl. But they want to chastise her for offering a service to men who, if they don't use their service, they're going to fuck a prostitute anyway.
So you also say that that you've saved marriages as well, and has there been proof that someone's come to you and says, "Thank goodness for you"?
This is funny. Now here is where the hamster is in overdrive. Where this woman Gwyneth Lee goes wrong is declaring that she's actually helping marriages. Guys, she knows she's not helping marriages, but you want to know something? You want to know why she tells people that she's helping marriages? Because she's a woman, and women don't want to look like they're doing something bad. Women don't want to be called sluts. They don't want to be called homewreckers. Women inherently want to help people. And when you fuck married men, the world comes down on you like these two. She's got to justify it somehow. This is what we call the rationalization hamster. Okay, well, I fuck married guys. Well, I'm helping them. Ay, ay, ay.
You've saved my marriage.
More than once?
I don't believe that. She said more than once. I don't believe that. That's bullshit.
I've had men say, really, it's just the huge... More than one man I've been with has said that having an affair with you has made our home life so much more relaxed. That's taken the pressure off the wife, who maybe after 25, 30 years marriage, they're not intimate anymore. And
You want to know something? Listen, I'm going to retract that just a little bit. I don't think that multiple men have told her you've saved my marriage, but I do buy the fact that men have said, hey, listen, getting ass from you, it's kind of taking the pressure off of my wife. It's kind of taking the pressure off me. I'm not walking around with blue balls all the time. I'm not itching for sex. I blow my load in and on you, and yeah, I'm living free and laughing easy now thanks to you. Listen, I can't say I don't buy that explanation, because there are men, like I said, hashtag dead bedrooms right there on the Reddit post, dead bedrooms. My wife isn't having sex with me. All right, well, that's what this woman is for.
he has sex with his wife on his birthday and Christmas or their wedding anniversary.
Boom. Do you see that? Do you see that, guys? Let's rewind that. This is the bullseye, the nail on the head. Listen to this.
They're not intimate anymore, and he only has sex with his wife on his birthday and Christmas or their wedding anniversary.
Bingo. You see that? She is talking about the typical American and or Western marriage. That's what she's talking about. Talking about women who only give it up to their men when they absolutely have to. Well, it's your birthday. Let me give you some pity pussy. All right, it's Christmas. Let me give you some pity pussy. Oh, it's your dudes aren't here for that. Dudes want to fuck. And if he's if he's married to a woman who's only giving it to him on holidays, what's a man supposed to do? I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone lines while I finish these out. I'm going to go ahead and open up the phone lines. Guys, be sure to give me a call, 914-205. That's the number to call. Again, that is 914-205-5356 as I attempt to, there we are, trying to move the call. There we go. So as you guys queue it up, I'll be finishing this video here shortly, and I'll read a couple of very quick articles, and I will get your thoughts. I will shout out the super chats as well as my members.
Or if she goes shopping, and then he knows, oh boy, and she's miserable doing it. She just doesn't want to do it.
See that? Who wants to have sex with a woman who's miserable having sex? Like, again, this blonde bitch can look daggers at this woman all the time. She can do whatever she wants, but what this comes down to is if wives were fucking their husbands like they should, like they're supposed to, women like Gwyneth Lee wouldn't exist. That's all there is to it.
And, you know, I think in marriage, I mean, I've been married. Marriage is very challenging. You can be with the most wonderful, loving person, but after 25 years, you've hung from the chandeliers, you've done all the crazy stuff, and it's hard to keep it spicy and exciting.
All right. And that is the end of that video. Yeah, isn't that some shit? So So let's read through a couple of articles here quickly, and then I'll get your thoughts. 914-205-5356. Be patient with me, guys. It'll take about 3 minutes to get through these. So this is an article on the Sun, and I've linked the video as well as these two articles. So the article in the Sun says, "Is this a job? The morning viewers disgusted by woman who boasts about sleeping with over 100 married men." And then, of course, I don't know why she says that she is saving marriages by sleeping with husbands. Again, that's just the justification. She doesn't want to look like a bad person, so she has to say, hey, I'm helping these people. Gwyneth Lee, 47, appeared on This Morning today to discuss how much she loves being a mistress. But those watching at home, as well as Holly Willoughby and Philip Schofield, I guess those are the two hosts, were baffled by her behavior and questioned if she was in fact a prostitute. An unimpressed Philip asked her, is it a job or a high sex drive? Not fazed, she replied, quote, "It's not like sheets are flying. It's not an occupation. I have my own business." She said that money never changes hands during the affairs, but the men will sometimes pay for her flights if they are in different countries. This is her trying not to look like a prostitute, guys. That's what this is. No, money probably doesn't change hands, but you want to know what? If they're paying you, if they're paying your way, your flight, that's a form of prostitution. Again, we just need to call this what it is. The reason why she's trying to minimize it is because of all the heat that she's catching. Viewers took to Twitter to debate her controversial hobby, with one writing, "I'm sorry, but this, quote, woman is nothing more than a slut and glorified prostitute." Another asked this morning, "She's just a prostitute?" And someone else blasted, "Woman just wants an excuse to open her tunneled legs just to sleep with middle-aged guys going through a midlife crisis. You're a homewrecker and aren't helping anyone but yourself." You see, these women, gentlemen, and let's take a look. Let's take a look at the women who have responded adversely. The women who respond adversely to this woman, they are outing themselves. They are outing themselves as women who don't want to fuck their husbands. I'm going to say this again. Women want to withhold sex for whatever reason. Wives are no longer motivated to fuck their husbands. They don't want their husbands looking at other women. They don't want their husbands looking at porn. They don't want them at the strip club. They want all of their husband's sexual attention, but they don't want to relieve his husband's sexual desires. But then they don't want him to cheat, right? Oh my God, I have no idea why he cheated. Well, how often are you guys having sex? I don't know. I haven't fucked him since August. Well, there's your answer, boo. Stacey Grant says, quote, "It's just sex. I'm only interested in affairs." Then she says, "You can't get attached, but there are feelings there. Why is this woman getting screen time to brag about cheating?" Josh Booth says she's just a prostitute. Curtis Johnson says, "So if sleeping with married men is her business, then that would make her a prostitute." Lauren says, "Woman just wants an excuse." Okay, you already read that. We'll finish the article here. Gwyneth, who is a businesswoman who lives in London, revealed she joined the website Illicit Encounters to sleep with married men after her husband died. Speaking about her own marriage, she says, we had pretty much open marriages from the beginning. I was my late husband's fourth wife. See, so she understood that the women who caught their high-value husbands cheating doesn't hurt their feelings. No. Well, then why do they get upset, Donovan? It's not because it hurts their feelings. It's because it hurts their bottom line. When a woman catches a high-value man cheating, it's not because, and she goes crazy, it's not because he hurt her feelings. It's because she sees potentially, this could hurt my bottom line. He could knock her up. He's probably taking her places. If she has a kid, that's more money he's got to pay her. That's what women are thinking about. Women don't give a damn about sex. They can get sex anytime, anywhere. It's not about sex for women when they catch their men cheating. When did it come out he was having an affair? When it did come out that he was having an affair, I was like, well, there's a reason why he's been married 4 times. She continued, "I think monogamy is overrated. You marry because you have found your best friend." Obviously, she's wrong there. "I think an affair is nothing more than a physical action. You have to be wise to find someone else who is wise too." Truer words never spoken, guys. Again, call Gwyneth Lee all the names you want. She gets it. She understands that sex is literally just an act. That's it. Dude, it's just an act for guys. It's just an act for women. Women's sex is a little more emotional. But like I said at the top of the broadcast, The more men a woman has sex with, the more emotionally detached she becomes with each partner. That's how this works. All right. I see my callers in the queue. I'm going to get to you guys in just a second. Let me shout out my super chats. Juanito Main with the $10 super chat says she definitely looks like Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah, she did kind of look like Bruce Jenner, didn't she? Pimped Out Geese with the $5 super chat says, one of you guys are going to hit that free parking. It's funny. Octavius Mewborn asks a very good question. Says, where would you put her total notch count if she has slept with over 100 husbands? Dude, she's probably fucked 700 guys, man. And I'm not even being facetious with that. I think her notch count is in the 700s. I think it is. I think it is. Let me shout out my new members. First, let me shout out my members. The TSR squad is in the house. Will S. Pimped Out Geese. AJ Baylock. Almost called you Blaylock there. Kenneth Christmas. I call him Kenny. Kenneth Christmas. I'm going to call you Kenny St. Nick. Republic of Awesome. That's pretty cool. State of Mike. Good to see you in here. Brian Washington, the elusive. Oh boy. Nandina? That's a hard one for me to pronounce. Probably just call you ND. Ashish Kaushik says Delhi, India has closed all the schools, colleges, and cinema halls till the end of March. Wow, they closed the movie theaters too. Holy shit. Yeah, man. The mad cow disease. I remember that. Big Brandon's in the house. Good to see you in here. Oh God, I swear to God, man. I'm gonna call you Double V, VV. I don't want to butcher people's names. Luis Colon says, I had swine flu, it hurt to blink. Man, I'm trying to tell you. I've lived through a few of these guys. Will S, New York's Ninth Wonder, good to see you in here. Night Me. Cryomancer, one of my biggest benefactors. Pimped Out Geese, Legendary Proof. Bramblebush, of course. Terrence B, good to see you in here. Playboy Hitch, yes, you are now a member. You are now a member. Xmas Holiday, good to see you in here as well. Another brand new member, along with Alex McCarty. I'm sorry, Alec McCarty. Good to see you in here. Okay, VV is fine. Okay, I cannot pronounce that name. Holy smokes. 914-205-5356 is the number to call. Let us go to area code 650. Area code 650. You're on live with Donovan. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey there, Donovan. It's AJ out in San Francisco calling again.
Hey, what's up, AJ?
Healthy as far as I know at this time. Not much. Just wanted to touch upon a couple of points or observances from your video. So at first, you pointed out that the blonde host is looking, especially critical, being passive-aggressive.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise giving a negative reaction towards Gwyneth's testimony.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if you think that sort of boils down to jealousy of what she's doing more than anything.
Oh, wow. In other words, so what you're asking me, this I believe is a very good question, AJ. So what you're asking me is part of the blonde's disdain for Gwyneth Lee. Does part of that disdain come from the fact that she's getting to sleep with a lot of different men, something that all women secretly want to do? She's out there living this life out in the open and not ashamed of it, but she can. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, that's more or less what I'm getting at.
Dude.
Especially since, she looks like she was pretty good prior to the wall, so she might be reminiscent.
No, listen, I totally get it. I think you're right, AJ. I think the fact, and of course we all know that a married woman who is having a conversation with a woman who sleeps with married men, that's going to be an adverse reaction, right? We know that there's not going to be any love lost there. Like, we get that, right? But by the same token, I had never thought of it from that angle. And I think you're right, AJ. I think that part of her disdain comes from envy. Comes from envy that not only is she slutting it up like every woman would love to do. Listen, every woman would love to sleep with multiple guys. That doesn't make them bad. It just makes them women. But women who understand that men don't want to commit to women that sleep around, and that sleeping around has adverse side effects, negative side effects, they refrain from that, at least as much as they say they do. But here this woman is, nearly 50 years old, fucking married guys left and right, going to, and it was funny, AJ, now that you say this, she says, listen, in the next 20 days, I'm going to see 8 guys on 3 different continents. That sounds like an exciting life. Meanwhile, the blonde is married to one man. She gets to fuck one man, then she gets to come to work. Listen, I think that's absolutely valid, AJ.
Yeah, that's dynamite spot on analysis there as well to tack on. So I had one more question about the video before you drop me off.
Sure, what's up, man?
To head out soon.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned that Gwyneth, she seems like she's amoral. She doesn't have any sort of pernicious intentions behind what she's doing.
Right.
So I'm with you on that. It's very possible she could be putting on a charade to mask it. But in any case, I wanted to at least address the hypothetical of if she does have these sorts of intentions. Okay. You specifically mentioned that she's looking for men who are sort of anchored down and not looking to jet out versus men who are looking to dip out of marriage, right?
Right.
So from that perspective, I see a situation where if she's with a man who is committed, she has more leverage in that if news of the affair breaks out, she has more power in that dynamic as opposed to a man who is looking to dip out, looking to be a player long term.
Right.
She doesn't have that kind of force. I
like that, man. I like that. And dude, AJ, you're spot on. I think there is definitely I think that's definitely a part of it as well, because she doesn't have any leverage if a guy's about to leave his wife, right? But a man who's anchored down, he's been married to his wife for 17 years, has 4 kids, 2 of them in college. She knows that if he decides to divorce his wife, she could divorce rape him. I think that absolutely gives her leverage. Man, AJ, you're spot on, dude. I'll give you the last word.
For sure, my man. So just in what I hope to make my trademark fashion, I want to give another Red Pill song shout out to the listeners.
Okay.
And today's song is Can I Get A by Jay-Z.
Can I get a whoop whoop? Yeah, that is absolutely.
Yeah, and especially since it features a female with lyrics that sort of play to, the brand name female behavior according to Red Pill knowledge that we always espouse. Wow. How are we supposed to get around on your bus pass?
I like it. Dude, AJ in San Francisco dropping serious knowledge. So Can I Get A by Jay-Z. Thanks for the call, AJ in San Francisco. Man, AJ pointed out he made some excellent points. The reason why Blondie there, whatever the fuck her name was, Holly Willoughby, the other reason that Holly Willoughby was pissed off at Miss Gwyneth Lee, other than the fact that she fucks married guys, is that she's secretly envious of her. Listen, I think that's absolutely a part of it. I think that is absolutely part of it. Women are jealous of other women who get to sleep around and have a good life. Even though they know it's bad for them, women are secretly envious of that. Very, very good call. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Let us go to area code 973. Area code 973, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Donovan, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Who is this? Where are you calling from?
It's Playboy Hitch Jr. out of New Jersey.
Hey, what's going on, Playboy Hitch?
Not much. I just have a couple questions regarding the video.
Okay.
So, I want to know who has the worst life. The man married to the wrong woman that pretty much has to worry about the cheaper to keep her deal, or a woman that dated people with bad character all throughout her damn 20s and ended up single in her mid-30s with no kids.
Okay, run that by me one more time just to make sure. So you want to know who has the worst life, right? The man who married the wrong woman, or the woman who married the wrong man and now she's single in her 30s?
No, not basically the woman that dated the wrong people in her 20s,
okay,
and now she's single with no kids in her 30s.
Okay. And what was the first choice?
All right, so the first choice is the man who married the wrong woman.
Oh, so dude, who has the worst life? All right, never mind. Yeah.
Keep her.
Yeah. Absolutely. The man with the man who marries the wrong woman. And here's the thing, Playboy. Men pay dearly when they marry the wrong women. Women don't really pay that high a price when they get with the wrong men. You understand what I'm saying? There is a price to pay. Yeah, there's a price to pay on either one. If a woman picks the wrong man, yeah, there's a price to pay. She's given him, some of the best years of her life, maybe puts a couple of babies in her, but that cost is comparatively low to the damage that that the wrong woman could do to a man, because the wrong women do much more damage to men in relationships and financially than men can do to women. So absolutely 100%, definitely that the man absolutely positively gets the short end of the stick there. Appreciate the call, Playboy. Got a couple of super chats here. Chris Kaysen with the $5 super chat says, preach it. David Stenard with the $10 super chat says, female gigolo, women hate game you created. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. Listen, women play this game all the time, man. But they get pissed off when either a man or another woman plays it better than they do. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Let us go to area code 615. Area code 615. You're on the air with Donovan. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Donovan, my name is Joel from Nashville. How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's going on, Joel in Nashville? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Check it out. I don't think, and I'm going to tell you something, man. I was in a situation just like this, and this is the very thing that brought me to the red pill.
Okay.
At the time, I was a cop in Georgia,
okay,
but I couldn't do that anymore. I had to get out of that life, and I wanted to do something that was really going to challenge me mentally. So I wanted to go to school for computers.
Okay.
So I left my job, and at the time, while I lived with my girlfriend, things just started getting, once the money changed, everything changed.
Wow.
She changed. She just got real disgusting.
Of course.
And I couldn't understand why back then in my blue pill days, okay? So one night, I come in from something I was doing, and she decides to go off and have an argument and saying, you're not sleeping in our bed.
Oh.
So, you know, the simp that So the simp that I was, I said, okay, no problem. I had a little nice little garage anyway. I slept in the garage.
Okay.
But after 2 nights, I had a friend of mine who called me. She's like, hey, if you're hungry, you know, you need something to eat, come over my house. Damn, I went to her house. And you know what? I fucked.
Right.
And that was the thing that the girl needed. That was the thing that my girl at the time needed to break it off.
That's right.
Now, I'll be honest, man. Women, I don't believe a man can cheat. That's how I feel, man. And I get this from my man Black Ram.
Okay.
I think that the idea of a man or husband cheating is what is a woman mirroring what women can do. Because it's in a man's natural DNA. It's in a man to have multiple sexual partners.
That's
man.
right.
We can have sex till we're 70. No
That's
problem.
right.
Women cannot do this.
No,
and
they can't.
we are not like women. We should never think of ourselves like women. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, you know, that's it right there, man. And you know, I just listen, I'm dead serious, man. I absorb this red pill content every day. I've internalized it.
Good.
So, you know, men need to stop thinking that they can, we can cheat. Man, as far as I'm concerned, a man cannot cheat.
I love it, man.
The whole idea of monogamy is a very modern concept that's promulgated by the Catholic Church and by societal norms.
Okay.
Other than that, and I got it from a woman, believe it or not, by the name of Illumide. If it wasn't for marriage, the way it is now in our modern construct, every man would cheat. Of course.
Excellent. Listen, Joel, thanks for the call. Joel in Nashville. You know, I think there's something to what he's saying. And let me explain what I mean here. In 347-571-512, I'm going to come to you guys in just a minute. Shout out to the Sinister Minister with the $5 super chat. Says, just became a patron of mine last week. Thank you very much for the support. When a woman finds out that her man has cheated on her, one of the most prevalent questions, and oftentimes it's the first question that she asks him. Okay, she finds out she cheats. What's the first question she asks? Do you love her? Did you tell her that you loved her? If she knows that you didn't tell her that you loved her, it's going to sting a lot less. Women could not give two shits about you sticking your dick in another chick. What they care about is you catching feelings for that woman. Because if you catch feelings for that woman, she's out the door, right? Your woman knows that her vagina doesn't give her a leg up one way or the other. All she knows is that she has to give you sex when you want it to reduce the odds of cheating, right? But she also knows that when you cheat, if you start to catch feelings for the girl you're cheating with, she knows she's on her way out the door. That's why she always asks, do you love her? Did you tell her that you love her? Very, very good call there by Joel in Nashville. Good call, man. Very, very good call. You guys are coming with the knowledge today. All right, let us go to area code 347. Area code 347, you're on live at Donovan. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yo, Donnie, it's your boy Algo from New York.
Algo in New York. How you doing, brother?
Yeah. Remember I called yesterday?
Oh, I remember you, bro. I remember. And I remember the first time you called me, Algo. Dude, you were on fucking fire. Like, yo, we got to internalize this red pill stuff. Right, exactly.
The passion is still there, my dude.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I think you called me for work a couple of times. I was like, I hope he's not calling me for work. You sound a little bit quiet. You know what I'm saying?
Every time except today.
Okay, all right. I was just making sure. I was just making sure your situation was all right. What you got for me today, Algo?
All right. So, do you want the story, or do you want me to stay on?
No. Give me the story.
Give you both.
No, bro. Give me the story, man.
So the story was this. Came to the bar near where I live.
Okay.
Mind my own business. So I saw a movement in my peripheral. I looked at it, shrugged it off, right? But I'm an expressive person. Everything I express, it comes out in my face as well, you know, my whole body language.
Yes, of course.
I shrugged it off.
Okay.
She looked at me and she says, "You look like you were judging me, but there's a little bit of mystery to it."
She said
I'm like,
that?
Okay.
Oh, I
Whatever.
love it. I love it.
She said that. I don't know who she is. I saw her with a group of people,
Okay.
both men and women. I figured it was just like a friends group coming out for a drink. Not
Okay.
uncommon. She gave it no credence. I'm a social introvert, right? I love being by myself around other people.
Okay.
So anyways, we go into conversation. He asked me about, hey, did you see that girl that I was talking to at the end of the bar? It's like, yes. The girl was hitting on her and saying like, yeah, she's trying to get with her.
Wow.
And telling me about how she's not going to do that type of thing because
of course not.
Her fiance is here, one, and two, she doesn't play that way, right?
Oh, of course not.
And she doesn't play that way. Right? And I'm like, all right, you know, fair, whatever, cool. Now, I'm not invested in this conversation, but I'm not trying to be rude at the same time.
Right.
So, like, I entertain it. Yeah, sure, blah, blah, blah. Goes down the rabbit hole to this point where it comes to this.
Okay.
Last call. She says, what are you doing after this? I said, I'm going to go down the street to an after-hours spot and continue drinking. She's like, oh, do you want to hang out? My jaw dropped.
Boom. There it is.
Good nature. Yeah, curse my good nature. My jaw drops a little bit. And she's like, no, it's okay. If you don't want to, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I'm just saying, how would your fiance feel about this? Here comes the shit test, Donovan.
Yep.
She says, my fiance will take one look at you and think, oh, this guy's not trying to flirt with my fiance.
Oh,
and I tell her this.
Wow.
That's where you're wrong. Because I would fuck you 6 ways to Sunday. And she says, that's not going to happen.
Oh.
I turn back to my drink.
Of course.
I turn back to my drink. And she presses me.
Yep.
And says, so do you want my number or...
Gentlemen, this woman is engaged, by the way. She's engaged to be married, just to set the scene here.
No, I don't give in. I do not give in. I do not break frame, ever. Iron rule of Tomasi #1.
That's right.
I never break frame. Damn it.
So what ended up happening in the end? Did you end up... So to make a long story short, did you end up banging that out, or what happened?
Nah, again, like I said, curse my good nature, man.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, let me give you a piece of it. And again, it's not really, it probably is part of your good nature, Algo, and thank you for the call. Thanks for the story. I think it also had more to do with the fact that he knew that she was engaged, right? Like, listen, man, like I have had sex with women I knew were wives, girlfriends, whatever the case may be. Like, I have done that. I have absolutely done that. Breaking news, guys. Breaking news. Breaking news, guys. The NCAA tournament has been canceled. The men's and women's NCAA tournament has been canceled. Also, the state of Ohio has closed all schools from kindergarten up through 12th grade for 3 weeks. So as this coronavirus, as the fallout, the dominoes from the coronavirus continue to fall, man, oh man. So the NCAA tournament has been canceled. The state of Ohio has closed all schools K through 12 for 3 weeks. Wow. Man, oh man. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Let's go to area code 571. Area code 571. You're on with Donovan. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yep. This is Prince in Atlanta.
Hey, what's going on, Prince?
Yeah, how you doing, Donovan?
Good.
Man, great show again today, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm out here actually back on my red pill journey, out here working out, so I decided I sit in the queue and then listen to this great topic that you had today.
Real talk. Good stuff.
So this is you mentioned something when you were talking about the article about or the video where you're talking about marriage. So a little bit of backstory. I was married before I came to then I came to Georgia. Well, I came to Georgia, got married because I had a baby outside of my relationship with the woman that I was living with.
Okay.
And then I decided, because she was a social worker, to get married to her, thinking that I would be able to use that system to get my son from the stripper girlfriend.
Oh, wow.
That I was with.
Good plan. I like that.
Yeah.
You're thinking, man.
Right. So I figured it would work. Yeah, I figured it might work. She's a social worker, so then I can show a family dynamic, which would be more advantageous.
Ideal,
then I can show that right. Then I can show that my baby mom is basically just one of those type of girls. She's a stripper. She doesn't have any stable environment, and she basically would need the government to save her, like everybody else in the world who uses the daddy government.
Right. Of
course. When you mentioned the fact that the wife takes away the sexual aspect of the relationship to try to control the situation, I remember there was a situation where I used to get unlimited sex with her when we were in a relationship.
Of course.
But then when I came home one day after going out to do my thing, I was taking her to work or whatever the case may be. She really was like, Prince, I really don't feel like it. Like, I don't want to always have to do it. And I just was like, what? Who does that? And then that's when I grabbed my shit. And then I was like, you know what? Don't worry about that. I'm going to just start hanging with other girls, and then you can just do whatever the hell you want to do, and then we'll talk about this shit when I get home.
Oh, that's what's up.
Long story short, one day she asked me in a bit of a tizzy. We got into a fight. She tried to call the police on me, and I always tell women, if you call the police on me, it's good riddance to you because I know you really don't give a damn about me.
Yeah, right.
So after all was said and done, I told her that, I told her to her face, I was like, yeah, I'm consistently cheating on you right now. We might as well get a divorce and just call it what it is.
Yeah.
Now, at the time, I didn't have the red pill, but I was entrenched in red pill content at the time.
Right.
So that was just basically my thing. There was a lot of similarities to the points that you were making that had to do it. And I love when you give this type of content because then it makes me reflect on all these situations that I had with all these women.
Yes. And introspection it's a powerful thing. And thanks for the call, Prince. Very, very good story there by Prince. Yeah, man. Rollo calls us awaken while married or awaken while in a relationship, right? A lot of men who are already married, they end up finding the red pill, or they're in a relationship, they find the red pill, and all of a sudden things change. But going back to what he said about his woman saying, you know what, I'm not going to do it right now. I don't feel like I should have to do it all the time. This is why men cheat. Lady, listen, here's the thing, guys. Believe it or not, women don't, even if you look like an Adonis, even if you're 6'4" with a 6-foot dick, make her squirt, guess what, guys? She's not going to want to fuck all the time. We understand that wives and girlfriends don't want to fuck all the time. Devin doesn't want to fuck every time we fuck, but you want to know something? She does. And the reason she does is because she doesn't want me going anywhere. Ladies, again, if you're watching, if you want to reduce the odds of your man stepping out on you, you have to give him the booty. That's it. That's the only reason we're with you in the first place. It's the sex. Yes. Being genuinely kind and feminine and submissive, all of those things are added bonuses. But none of that matters if we're not getting the sex. Because if you're giving us the kindness and the femininity and the companionship without the sex, then that's called being in the friend zone. That's called being my friend, right? I don't want to, listen, I don't want a platonic relationship. I want a sexual relationship. That's how this works. But I'm kind, I'm feminine, I'm submissive, I'm in shape, and this and that. And that's all well and good, baby girl. But if you're not giving me the ass like I want and need it, then you gotta be the fuck up out of here. So many wives, again, I talked about this at the top of the show. So many wives and girlfriends out here talk all the shit about how, well, I'm not going to do this, and I withheld sex from that. Then they want to bitch and moan that their husband or boyfriend stepped out on them. The fuck was he supposed to do? Shout out to Ashish Kaushik with the 200 rupee super chat. I think that's roughly $2.50. He says, service providers, he puts in quotes. He's talking about prostitutes. Prostitutes in India are unattractive and illegal. No option of live in either while the wives here get gigantic and nagging. Domestic help here are very affordable, so why even get married? I agree. Why marry a woman who's not going to have sex with you? That's just the way it works. 914-215-205-5356. Again, that's 914-205-5356. Let us go to area code 512. Area code 512. You're on live with Donovan. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name is Dave. I'm Mr. Pirate Brain in the chat.
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Pirate Brain? Where are you calling me from, by the way?
I'm calling from Austin.
Oh, okay. Good stuff. Dave in Austin. How you doing, man?
Yeah, hey, you know, they barricade all the hospitals and stuff now to get in. You have to go through a checkpoint here in Austin.
Oh, wow. Are you serious? And this is in Austin? See, my sister lives in Austin, Texas.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my sister lives in Austin. I need to give her a call. So you said they're barricading the hospitals, and you have to go through a checkpoint to get to the hospital?
Yeah, they funnel all the traffic in through one door, and you have to they give you a wristband to let you know that you've been checked out.
Wow. Man, it's getting crucial out there, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Dude.
Yeah. But, you know, my story is, man, when I was living in Florida, I was married. My wife wasn't giving me the ass. I don't know why I stayed with her. I stayed with her for about a year and a half without having
regular sex. Yeah.
And one day she caught me because we were in separate rooms even. She caught me in my bedroom masturbating, and she cussed me out. So I was like, well, you're not having sex. I'm not fucking around, so what's the problem?
Right.
So I said, okay, it's like that. The next night, I met this chick, went out with her. We got in the hotel room, and we fucked all night long.
There you go.
When I came home at 7 in the morning, the police were in front of my house. She called the police, and she knew what I was doing because I told her I was going to fuck around on her. I let her know.
Why were the cops?
Cheating.
What did she tell
I'm letting you know.
Wait, hold on. Why did she call the cops? What was her reasoning?
She wanted to fuck over me. You know, they had the cops.
Christ.
No, I wasn't there. So the cop came over and asked me, and she came right up to me in front of the cop. I said, "Oh, you're not gonna let me talk to him in private? Okay, I'll tell him in front of you." My wife hasn't had sex with me in over a year. And yesterday, I told her if she didn't have sex with me, I was going to go out and find somebody else, and that's what I did.
And that's
so I said, officer, if she calls you again tomorrow night, there's no need for you to come out. I'm going to be okay.
Yep, I'm good. I'm good. Listen. There's no domestic violence going on here.
Yeah, no, I didn't touch her. She was up in my face. So I said, no, I'm not. No marriage rape here.
Nope.
She said she didn't want to fuck me. I said, okay.
That's it.
Good enough. And we were divorced about 3 months later.
Good. Very, very good. Thanks for the call, Mr. Pirate Brain, Dave in Austin. Yeah, again, it's like women. This is the state of women. They don't want you masturbating. They don't want you looking at other women, but they don't want to have sex with you. They want all of your sexual attention without giving you sexual satisfaction. Big thanks goes out to Cody Morgan with the $5 super chat. I appreciate that, my friend. Let's go back to the phone lines. Area code 641. Area code 641. You're on live at Donovan. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, man. This is Jeremy from Phoenix.
Hey, Jeremy in Phoenix. How you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I was just calling. I got 3 missed calls from this number. I got your ass.
Oh my God. Listen, shout out to Joe Smith, man. Shout out to Joe Smith. And Joe, listen, if you're watching, send me that email. I told you I was gonna give you a free copy of How to Build a Quality Woman from the ground up for me hanging up on you. What's going on, Jeremy? What's on your mind, man? Oh, well, never mind. I guess Jeremy just called me to playfully troll me. All right, good stuff. Good call. Let's go to area code 920. Area code 920. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Donovan. This is Tom from Wisconsin. We spoke before.
Oh, no, Tom. Hold on, Tom. Tom, don't start. Don't start. Hang on, because I got to set this up for everybody, all right? So, guys, the situation is this. Tom from Wisconsin is currently married. His wife, I don't know how I remember this stuff. His wife had an emotional affair with someone, I think, in California. She said she was going to leave you for this dude in California, right? But then all of a sudden she reversed skate and said, okay, well, wait a minute. Maybe we can work this thing out. So give me an update, Tom in Wisconsin. Give me an update as to what is happening.
Well, currently things are actually going pretty well. We are having sex regularly.
Okay.
And she's very, happy to be with me and happy to see me all the, every day basically.
Good.
So, like I mentioned before, just to like sort of fill in some of the details, people are probably wondering certain things.
Yeah.
I lost my frame. I lost my game, and it's not that I had game. Like I didn't have the red pill. I was blue pill, mostly alpha, but I had beta programming. But I lost my frame. I lost myself in the marriage itself. Actually, it was the whole process of being married. Actually, when I signed the certificate, just as a side note, when I signed the certificate, I was literally sweating bullets and I was shaking.
Wow.
Because I knew how basically emasculating it was without having better words to use. So, but I did it because I didn't want to lose her because she was, she threatened to leave if I didn't do it.
Right.
Basically, is what it came down to. Which most women do. But anyways, so things are going pretty good, and we're in the process of trying to figure out if we're gonna get divorced or if we're just gonna do a legal separation.
Okay.
So like the divorce, the marriage itself, the certificate, the paper doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, it doesn't mean much to her either. It's our relationship that's probably like what we should be talking about, not the legal status of being married.
Okay.
But
how did this?
But I wanted to share a story.
Hang on, real quick, Tom.
Go ahead,
real quick, Tom. So you guys, you went from not having sex with your wife and your wife wanting to leave you for a man that she had been involved with way back in the day to now having sex with you whenever you want. How did you go from that to where you are now?
Well, I think that there was some hypergamy. Obviously, I was working on hypergamy with her, at certain times of the month and things like that. But basically, I started dressing good.
90
I
seconds.
started withholding information from her, and I was not a terrible person to her. Like I lost my frame. I got distracted. I fucking got misdirected. I made some bad choices. But anyways, so I just started dressing nice, and I started going to the gym, and she just and I started acting differently towards her.
Okay.
And I mean, all that together with we got a lot of commonality in terms of how we view
60
the world.
seconds.
It's hard to find that with people
listen,
in
and
general.
I don't want you to mistake this here, Tom. And listen, I'm glad things have worked out, right? At least it appears to.
Yeah.
And when I say I'm glad things worked out, I'm glad she's having sex with you again, right? Because the marriage at this point is immaterial. But one thing you have to be very careful about saying, well, we see the world the same way, and that's why we're together. Tom, again, it doesn't matter how she sees the world. She needs to appear to see the world the way you see the world. I say this all the time. Women don't
exactly.
Well, hold on.
Exactly.
Women don't have any steadfast beliefs or disciplines. They believe and follow what the strongest men in their lives believe and follow. So the fact that you got the frame back is evident because now you think she sees the world the same way you do. Whether she does or not doesn't really matter. She's trying to make you think she does, which means she's back into you.
10
but
seconds.
Make no mistake, and again, guys, you guys, 10 seconds to call in. If you're in the queue, you'll get on the show. Make no mistake, Tom. Do not make the egregious mistake of going back to what you were before. I have had two consultation clients. They scheduled a consultation. Donovan, I'm in the shit. My wife, my girlfriend is not acting right. Help me fix it. I spend 2.5, 3 weeks helping them fix it, and then they go right back to where they were because they went right back to where they were. So you need to understand this.
Yeah.
You can never, ever rest on your laurels with women, okay? Just understand
Oh,
that.
yeah.
All right,
yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. So anyways, so I just had a story about just to validate the hypergamy behavior of females. So I basically pulled a fast one on her. I made up that there was some chick I was talking to on Facebook, right? Like just some fictitious female. And then it caused a huge blow up, and I had to leave work for an hour to go like talk to her and shit and like set the frame again, like put her in my frame.
Let me stop you right there.
And
no,
there was some competition.
Tom, stop. Nope. When you take an hour off work to go and set her straight, she's not in your frame, dude. You're in her frame. You guys had a blow up. You left from where you were to go and address that. You didn't put anybody or anything in place. What she showed you is that she could control you with her emotional tirades. Next time that happens and she blows up on you, you hang up the phone, and you turn off your phone. Don't say a goddamn word to her until you walk back in the house. You have to understand that if you let a woman control you with her emotional tirades, guess what she's going to do, Tom? She's going to throw emotional tirades, right? She got upset and you went home. So she thinks to herself, oh, okay, well, if all I have to do to get him home is to act like I'm upset, right? So you kind of did I don't know how you pulled off the whole, hey, I'm talking to somebody else on Facebook. And be very careful with doing that as well, Tom, because women have a supernatural sixth sense of sniffing out incongruities, right? You know what I mean? Like, dude, demonstrate. Don't explicate. Don't tell her, well, I'm talking to a girl on Facebook. Let her find out on her own. Discovery always trumps disclosure. You obviously have a very young wife, because if she were any older, she would know that you're making this up and probably would have called your bluff. If I were you, I wouldn't try that again. If you do and she blows up, do not hang up the phone and go to calm her down. I'll give you the last word.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, then how it ended up is I went home that morning, her entire behavior changed completely. And even though she was on the rack, she still let me hit it.
Good.
So,
good.
If that's worth anything.
Okay,
but,
listen,
so things have turned around. And
yeah, you're definitely making progress. You're making progress. But again, and thanks for the call, Tom, I would be very, very careful about fabricating dread, right? Listen, good idea. It worked last time, right? But you can't fabricate dread. You can't do that. At some point, your woman is going to find out. Girls don't fall for that stuff anymore. They just don't. So good luck to Tom in Wisconsin. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Whoa. Whoever it is loud. Area code 813. You're on live with Donovan. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
The reason I say that it's easy for you. I looked at it for like a week.
Okay, area code 813 is apparently doing something else. Let us go to area code 510. Area code 510, you're on live with Donovan. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
TN from California.
TN from California. What's going on, dude?
Not much. Just a new listener, but I'm peeping the game.
Good.
But here's my thing. I've been kind of messing with this 40-plus-year-old woman. And as soon as we met, we hopped right into sex.
Good.
Then all of a sudden, it's all this. She feels like she doesn't want to have sex anymore because she feels guilty that it's not like in a relationship.
Oh.
But she set the tone to where it was just basically with text to come over the next day after we met. So I just need some quick advice. I'm not really looking for a relationship. I'm just kind of, I'm happy in my frame, like you say, in the prime of my financial career,
Okay.
I'm not really trying to, get settled down with it. So
Right.
is it just something I just need to kind of just bounce as it is?
Yeah, no. So let me just make sure I'm understanding you correctly here, TN. So you start fucking this 44-year-old, right? All of a sudden, she tells you she feels guilty because you're having sex and you're not in a relationship with her, right?
Yeah, she wants an emotional connection.
Okay, TN, this is a low-level standard shit test. That's what this is. What she wants to do, and older women do this all the time. They let you fuck in the beginning without any strings attached, then all of a sudden they pull it away from you, and they say, well, we're not going to have any more sex until we're in a relationship. You want to know what you say, TN? Well, then I guess we're not going to have sex anymore because I don't want a relationship, and you leave it at that.
Got you. That's kind of what I was thinking. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I just needed confirmation that I'm not fucking losing my mind on this bullshit.
Absolutely not, man. Yeah, dude, listen, she should come running back, but do not give in. Thanks for the call, TN in California. I appreciate that. Yeah, dude, listen, man, girls are always trying to pull this gambit. They try to have, they try to give you all the great sex in the beginning. They give you all the great sex in the beginning. They give you the head. They give you the anal sex. Then right in the middle of it, well, I don't feel like having sex anymore because we're not in a relationship. Yeah, that's bullshit. You're just trying to get an emotional investment from me. No, never ever commit exclusively to a woman you fucked on the first date. And she's 44? Yeah, man, get the hell up out of there, bruh. All right, area code, hang on a second, area code 706. Area code 706. You're on Live at Donovan. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
What's good, Donovan? It's Max Fit, bro.
Hey, what's going on,
I'm
dude?
from Athens, Georgia. Shit, just chilling, man. Hey, so I just wanted to comment on the little video that you just broke down.
Yeah.
So it's just funny to me about when you pointed out the beta commentator or the host.
Oh yeah.
I was just kind of like, once you pointed that out, I was listening to the audio version, then I opened it up on YouTube, and I'm just looking at his posture.
Oh yeah.
And he was slouched over. His fingers were like locked in. It was like he wasn't listening intently, but I just felt like it was something that you and MLD would appreciate. The fact that like his body language was just so beta, for lack of better terms.
Yeah.
And that was just something that stood out to me. And the video in totality is just like some bullshit. It to me, I ain't even gonna lie, it really did sound like he was just prostituting, like on some, just, oh, fly me out, this, that, and the third, kind of like some IG thought shit or whatever. But yeah, it was just really interesting to see you break that down. But I appreciate all the work that you're doing, bro.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate the call. MacFit in Athens, Georgia. Yeah. The co-host, and I've already forgot what his name is. It's Phil something or other. But yeah, the co-host was very, slumped over shoulders. He leaned in too much. You could tell he was definitely exhibiting the beta behavior. Last call of the day, area code 210. Area code 210, you're on Live at Donovan. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Donovan? This is AJ in San Antonio. What's going on, man?
AJ, we had an AJ in San Francisco. Now we got an AJ in San Antonio. How you doing, brother?
Pretty good. I actually called you a couple weeks ago, and I was going to refer back to my situation. I'm actually the one who's I'm banging a married chick, and I actually have a comment about the video, like the previous caller. But
yeah, go ahead.
I kind of want to comment on my situation because you alluded to it a couple minutes ago in something you said. Women usually take the form or pick up on habits of the strongest man in their life, and I was wondering because the main chick I'm banging, the married one, she actually starts talking to me a lot, and she's been dropping hints lately, like nothing's gonna come of this because of my situation, which I don't want it to. I honestly don't, and I told her straight up, I was like, that's fine. So now, I'm wondering if she kind of shit tested me, because the other day she said she was, I can't remember exactly what she said, but basically I told her straight up, I was like, look, yeah, I kind of do, you're a cool enough chick, but it's not going to go any further than this because, you're married. I'm not going to go that route with you, and you're not worth much more than that. And I kind of tell her about her husband, and it's, she kind of doesn't go like, she never detests, she never like confronts me on it. Like I always tell her, like, this is what your husband is. It's kind of like you dropping knowledge on us. And she never says I'm wrong or right, and I just said like he is what he is.
Yeah.
And so I kind of was wondering like, is she kind of like falling for me? You know, she knows it's not going to happen. I think she's shit testing me, and I'm like, no, it's not. And I was like, it could go on forever. It could stop next week.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wreck your marriage. What's that? But that's that. But I'm wondering if she's trying to figure out.
Yeah, she
like,
wants
does
you.
She like me a lot more than that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. She likes you more than she likes her husband. That's obvious. And what gave her away was when she reiterated to, hey, by the way, just to remind you, you know this little thing isn't going any further than this. The reason she's asked you that now twice is because she wants you to fight her on it, right? She wants you to say, oh, well, wait a minute. Why can't this go any further, right? So, yes, that was a quasi-shit test, and yeah, you passed it with flying colors. So the next time she says it again, just be like, no, you're right. This is definitely not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And my second point, I don't know if anyone brought this up. I wasn't going to catch the whole live stream. About the video, and I'm not going to take a more or less to high ground because obviously I'm sleeping with a married woman myself.
Sure.
But when she said, the lady said she was kind of saving marriages, in a way, is she kind of right? Because I look at it like you said, women all, you know, hate each other because they know each other. In a way, is she doing it because, is she saying, well, I'm letting these women keep their husbands in a situation because maybe their husbands are the beta in the sense of like, he's getting what he needs from me because she's getting it on the side herself, whatever. No. So in a way, she is saving the marriage. Otherwise, everything else in the marriage is great. Maybe they do have the good family life. They have the kids and the resources, but they're just not sexually attracted, or she's just tired of them, or vice versa. So maybe she is, in a way, saving the marriage. I mean, I hate to agree with her, but in a way, she may be making a point. I don't know if anyone brought that up, that maybe she is doing it because maybe she's thinking that way, like,
I don't
this is
think
what I do, and this is what I think.
Well, here's the thing.
So.
Listen, you make a very good point, AJ. I don't think that's her intent. I don't think her intent, I'm going to go fuck married guys so I can help them. No. She wants to fuck married guys because she wants to have casual sex with many men, and she wants to reduce the odds of them catching feelings and wanting to be in a relationship with her. That's why she fucks. This is why when she finds out that they want to leave their wives or leave their girlfriends, whatever, that's why she wants nothing to do with them. She wants to keep that. She wants to keep that emotional detachment. All she wants to be a globetrotter. She just wants to sport fuck her way around the world. That's what she wants to do. But I think there is something to what you're saying. She is inadvertently helping men who are in sexless. Listen, and I say this all the time, man. Just because a man fucks another woman doesn't mean he doesn't still love his main chick or his wife, right? So maybe listen, I don't want to say that she's helping the marriage, but she is certainly helping the men, right? Because again, if the husband decides that if his wife's not giving him sex and he decides to divorce her, then he's going to be out half his shit. Well, if he's getting pussy on the side, that saves him from having to divorce his wife to go and get pussy, right? So when the man says to her, hey, you're saving my marriage, I don't think that any man if a man says to Gwyneth Lee, hey, you're helping my marriage, that's not really what he means. What he means is that you're helping me. Right, because if my wife found out that I was fucking other women, then yes, then the marriage would be over and she'd be pissed off. Will S comments in the chat, and thanks for the call, AJ in San Antonio. Will S once again, he's doubling down. He's doubling down on the fact that Gwyneth Lee is doing God's work. You know what, Will? She might be, man. She might be. Oh my God. Averte Farnell is the newest member of TSR Towers. Appreciate that. Chris Whitaker with the $5 super chat says, met you in Orlando in October and became a Patreon member in January. Learned more on female nature from you in 6 months than 2+ adult decades. Grateful for TSR. I appreciate that. Chris W. Yeah, I met a lot of, it's actually very cool. I wish I could put a name to a face with Chris Whitaker. But yeah, listen, I'm happy to help. Definitely happy to help. Bramblebush is not convinced. I don't think Bramblebush buys Tom in Wisconsin's story. Said he's still not convinced with this dude. He's still blue pill as fuck. He says, let me hit it. See what I mean? Yeah. Yep. Listen, man, I don't know. I don't know if Tom in Wisconsin is telling me the truth or not, but I do know this. You can't come running home every time your wife throws a hissy fit. It just doesn't work that way. Shout out to my super chatters. Playboy Hitch Jr., Juanito Main, Pimped Out Geese, Octavius Mewborn Jr., Chris Kaysen, The Sinister Minister, Ashish Kaushik, Cody Morgan, Chris Whitaker again, Chris Whitaker, and Joe Smith, who called me as Jeremy in Phoenix. Appreciate that, Joe. Joe, the official, unofficial TSR troll. Shout out to my new members, VV, the Republic of Awesome, Ed Lattimore, who lives in Portugal, says they are slowly being locked down over there. Luis Colon, Playboy Hitch Jr., Alec McCarty, and Evert Farnell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new members. 6 new members of TSR Towers. If you would like to get chat permissions, be sure to sign up if you want to support the show. Become a patron. All sorts of exclusive extras, including the audio versions, the audio podcast versions of the show. None of the small talk, none of the phone calls, just straight Donovan. Straight Donovan. My thanks to my callers. AJ in San Francisco, Playboy Hitch Jr., Joel in Nashville, Olga in New York, Prince in Atlanta, Dave in Austin, who got the cops called at him, Tom in Wisconsin, TN in California, and of course, AJ in San Antonio. Excellent show today, guys. Wash your hands. Do not touch your face. Stay safe out there, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.